Well, about 9 minutes now before news time at the top of the hour. All the news you've come to expect at the top of every hour from NBC and all the rest of our sources. You know, Saturday night at the Peabody Auditorium, part of Winterfest for the Daytona Beach Symphony Society, is going to be one of the best nights ever at the Peabody Auditorium. Coming in is going to be Igudesman and Joo, and they're on the other end of our line. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I think this is fabulous that you're coming to the Daytona Beach Symphony Society, is because, you know, a lot of people think about classical music and they think about it as very staunchy and long hair and stuff like that. And you put the fun in the classical music, don't you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's so often you go to a classical music concert, if you bother to go, and it resembles a funeral rather than a celebration of life. And, you know, as Igudesman and Joo, we just thought, you know, turn that upside down and make it fun, make it accessible, but still, you know, play great music and just combine it with comedy. Kind of, you know, Mozart meets Monty Python or South Park meets Bach kind of thing. And that's what we do with a little nightmare music.
Well, you know, when they talk about the musicians and the artists back when classical music was the music, they were the rock stars of their day, right?
Yes, and they were not only the rock stars, but they were very spontaneous, and there was much more freedom in concerts of that time. So what we've actually done in the last century is to just create this false authenticity because you know, people at that time, they were talking to the audience. Liszt was famously going to the audience and having a glass of wine with them. People were doing magic tricks in between movements of pieces, and it was just much more relaxed.
Well, you know, and that's what we need in classical music today because the music is just fabulous. You know, you're going to bach around the clock and have a lot of fun. What are some of the things you're going to be doing on stage at the Peabody?
Oh, you know, it's going to be crazy. I mean, we've got a rendition of I Will Survive. You can check it out online, Igudesman and Joo, I Will Survive. And we combine it with Tchaikovsky, with Killing Me Softly, with Final Countdown. We turn the whole piece upside down. At the same time, we're kind of exposing that all music comes from the same source. Then, you know, we're going to be throwing planks of wood around in order for Hyung-ki to play the piano because he has very small hands. You know,
but only hands small.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's really going to be quite nuts and hopefully very beautiful at the same time. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, if you love classical music, if you've always wanted to find out something about classical music and said it was too staunchy, I got to tell you, Saturday night, Igudesman and Joo is going to be at the Peabody Auditorium. By the way, for ticket information, you can call Ticketmaster at 800-745-3000, but they'll be at the Peabody Auditorium Saturday night. It's going to be rocking and rolling with a little nightmare music, right, guys?
That's correct.
And if we could just add, what's great in our show is that you don't need to know anything about classical music. You never need to know anything. We have people from kids to their grandparents to university school students. We have such a cross category of people coming. It's fun for everyone.
I got to tell you, in the early 90s, I was fortunate enough to manage a classical radio station, probably one of the best times that I ever had in the radio industry. And one of the shows that we carried was on Saturday morning, and it was called Kids Classical Hour. And it talked about how even in cartoons there's so much classical music that's played under Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd and all that stuff. You know what? We had more adults listening to that show than kids.
Understandably so, yeah. Oh, classical music is everywhere. It's hidden actually in a lot of popular pieces. I mean, All by Myself, for example, it's based on Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto, and actually we will actually combine the two also together in our show. And you know, we combine Mozart and James Bond, not just because it's funny, but also because, you know, a lot of the harmonies actually fit. And you know, all pop music is based on classical music, and back in the days, classical music was pop music too, so it's all the same.
You're absolutely right. We're looking forward to you. By the way, I just got a note from our meteorologist, and she said there's going to be beautiful weather when you get to Daytona Beach.
Oh, perfect.
And we're doing that just for
all
you.
Day and playing all night.
There you go. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you Saturday night at the Peabody Auditorium.
Perfect.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they go. A couple of crazy guys, and they love their classical music. Igudesman and Joo, they'll be part of the Daytona Beach Symphony Society Winterfest, and it starts on Friday night, but Saturday night, Igudesman and Joo will be at the auditorium. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. Give them a call right now. Let's get back to the music now. Here's our weekend guide, little jazz.